The moment that Leg stepped out of the car, every employee in the office tensed up. Assistants scrambled to prepare drinks, fashion magazines were neatly arranged, slippers were swapped for high heels, and lipstick had to be perfectly applied. She is Miranda, the editor-in-chief of America's top fashion magazine, Runway. Working under her demanded perfection. Emily, one of the assistants, would receive countless instructions every morning, yet she remained enthusiastic. Her dream was to attend the cutting-edge Paris Fashion Week alongside Miranda. Andy, a graduate aspiring to be a journalist, led a very ordinary life with onion bagels for breakfast and subway rides. On this day, she came to interview for a job every girl dreams of, being Miranda's assistant. Rumors had it that surviving a year under Miranda could get you a job at any newspaper. Andy, ambitious and eager, attended the interview, albeit clueless about fashion. Miranda seemed uninterested in this country girl. Andy, ready to leave dejected, decided to give it one more try, presenting a plethora of reasons why she could excel at the job. As Miranda began immersing in her work, Andy had to choose to give up. As she was about to leave, an assistant called out to her, and just like that, Andy landed the job. However, her workday started before 6 a.m., forcing Andy to rise early and dedicate herself to Miranda's demands. Thankfully, there was no backstabbing, but if Andy performed poorly, Emily would also face consequences. Andy was expected to be ever present at her post, as the previous assistant was fired for missing a call while in the restroom. The extremely low margin for error overwhelmed Andy. While Emily handled the main tasks, Andy was left with the simpler ones. A bald designer gifted her a pair of high heels, which conservative Andy deemed unnecessary. Miranda called for Emily, but in her absence, Andy had to step up. Miranda listed over a dozen tasks and instructions, making Andy's head spin. To make matters worse, Miranda noticed Andy's shoes, making the high heels from the bald designer useful. Andy's fashion sense also became a target for colleagues' mockery. Andy made a mistake during a fashion selection meeting. As Miranda hesitated between two belts, Andy laughed. Surprised, Miranda asked why, and Andy responded that the two belts looked almost identical. Miranda taught Andy a lesson, using numerous examples to criticize her ignorance and lack of fashion awareness. Andy truly felt the might of this female devil. Her boyfriend thought she should quit, but Andy was not one to give up easily. She believed that enduring a year could turn this job into a stepping stone to her desired career. If you dare take the job, I dare to make it tough for you. Every day began with Miranda tossing her bag and clothes onto Andy's desk. Hanging clothes and managing bags became part of her daily routine. From buying eggs early in the morning to fixing cars and walking dogs, Andy excelled in every task. Andy, trying to relax during dinner with her father, receives a call from Miranda, who is away on business, demanding Andy arrange a flight home amidst a thunderstorm. Despite her efforts, Andy ends up being reprimanded by Miranda. Miranda remarks that she kept Andy on believing she was different from the other girls, but it turns out she's just the same. Andy confides in the bald designer about her grievances with the leadership, but he suggests she quit. Andy doesn't want to resign, she just hopes for some recognition. The bald designer insightfully comments, "Do you want me to pity you, Andy? This place operates smoothly because everyone here loves their job, while it's clear you're being forced." Andy has an epiphany. She heads to the bald designer's wardrobe to give herself a makeover, ready to embrace fashion and change her appearance. When she returns, Emily is stunned, and they commend Andy's new look. From then on, Andy never repeats an outfit, and her fashionable attire boosts her confidence. Miranda is pleasantly surprised by Andy's style choices and even takes a moment to appreciate them. Andy gradually drifts from her circle of friends. When Miranda calls, Andy's boyfriend passes the phone among friends before Andy snatches it back, highlighting the importance of her job. Andy becomes increasingly proficient at work, anticipating Miranda's needs without being asked. Consequently, Andy is trusted with delivering the revised magazines. Andy receives the keys to Miranda's residence. Emily warns her to quickly place things as per Miranda's liking and leave. However, once at the house, Miranda's twin daughters trick Andy into going upstairs, where she inadvertently hears Miranda's husband complain about her prioritizing work over life. Miranda finds Andy with the magazine and awkwardly leaves. Disaster strikes the next day. Miranda, appearing normal, starts making Andy's life difficult by demanding the unpublished manuscript of the latest Harry Potter book for her twin daughters, clearly setting Andy up for embarrassment. Before leaving, Miranda insists on having a steak within 15 minutes. Andy convinces a chef at a steakhouse to prepare one immediately. Just as Andy serves Miranda, she states she's no longer hungry and warns Andy not to return if she doesn't secure the Harry Potter manuscript by 3 p.m. Andy, on the verge of quitting, changes her mind after a call from a friend who has access to the manuscript. Andy completes the task flawlessly, impressing Miranda with her resourcefulness. Miranda starts to see Andy in a new light. That evening, at a charity event, Emily falls ill. Andy, initially planning to attend her boyfriend's birthday party, is commandeered by Miranda to accompany her to the event, familiarizing herself with the guest list. As expected, at the event, Emily falters, forgetting the name of an approaching guest. At the last moment, Andy saves Miranda from embarrassment by naming the guest. After the event, Andy rushes to celebrate her boyfriend's birthday, only to run into the man who helped her with the manuscript. The handsome and wealthy man shows interest in Andy, but she decides to return home. Andy arrives late with a birthday cake for her boyfriend, who passes by her silently, upset not because she missed his birthday, but because the girl he knew is fading away. Andy attempts to discuss their future, but her boyfriend simply remarks on her beauty that evening, highlighting the growing distance between them. On this day, Andy, as usual, arrives to deliver the magazines to Miranda, who surprisingly offers her the opportunity to replace Emily at the upcoming Paris Fashion Week. From the next day, handling clothes and bags becomes Emily's task, while Andy takes on the errands, leading to Emily getting into a car accident. Andy shares the news of the switch, plummeting her already shaky relationship with Emily to rock bottom, and even causes a fight with her boyfriend over her decision to go to Paris. The Andy who once mocked the company's girls has become just like them, lacking common ground with her friends, leading to the conclusion that taking a break from each other is the best option. Andy tries to speak to her departing boyfriend but is interrupted by a call from Miranda. In Paris, Andy experiences the city's allure, but Miranda is troubled due to work-related issues leading to her divorce from her second husband. Miranda is worried about the impact of the news on her children, and while Andy wants to help, Miranda advises her to focus on her job instead. Andy learns from a friend that the company's head is planning to replace Miranda with someone younger. Feeling this is unfair, Andy tries to warn Miranda. Before Andy can explain over the phone, Miranda hangs up. Finally, before a banquet, Andy informs Miranda about the situation, but Miranda seems unfazed, puzzling Andy. During Miranda's speech, Andy witnesses Miranda's shrewdness as she not only retains her position but also assigns the younger contender a new role, sidelining the bald designer who was originally promised the position. After the banquet, Miranda shares a vulnerable moment in the car, appreciating Andy's loyalty. However, Miranda reveals she was already aware of the plot and had preemptively arranged another position for the young contender, warning the head that if she were replaced, she'd take her entire list of contacts with her, thereby securing her job. Andy makes a decisive choice to walk away from this world. She discards her phone in a fountain, returning to her genuine and straightforward self, eventually reconciling with her boyfriend. Andy interviews at a local newspaper, where her brief tenure at Runway piques the editor's interest. When inquired, Miranda recommends Andy highly, suggesting it would be a loss not to hire her. Passing by the place where it all began, Andy calls Emily to offer her the clothes from Paris, fulfilling her dream. When Andy spots Miranda, she acknowledges her with a nod and a wave, but Miranda simply gets into her car and leaves. Andy smiles, recognizing Miranda's unchanged demeanor. From within the car, Miranda looks at Andy, who has returned to her true self, with a mix of emotions, acknowledging the beauty of diverse perspectives. While everyone seeks a better life, some choose not to lose their essence after facing challenges, opting to return to their roots. The narrative concludes that anyone can achieve the seemingly impossible through effort, but few maintain their original intentions upon reaching the summit. Miranda and Andy could have become the same but chose different paths due to their distinct aspirations, defining their unique life trajectories.